How's it going, everybody? I noticed in my $150 8.8 video that I had a lot of questions. People was asking about how I set my truss up on it. So I figured I'd take a couple minutes and show you guys. I mean, the only real issue I ran, it's been in the car for 2 years now, is I have stock uppers and I bent one because I miscalculated the clearance there when the car would hit a bump. The issue with it, like I said, because it pulls on the top arms under acceleration, the top and the other side isn't distorted. It's fine. I don't see it going anywhere. But like the major design flaw in the G-Body suspension that GM suffered from is there wasn't enough separation between the uppers and lowers. A lot of people, with the G-Body shuffle and this and that, well, that's really the reason. So like if you buy like the aftermarket traction bar kit for a G-Body or anything, basically what it does is it just moves the upper control arm mounts up approximately 2 inches or so to compensate. That way the bars intersect closer to the center of gravity, because from the factory they're both angled up and they never intersect, which causes the car to squat and wobble under acceleration. When the bars intersect close to the center of gravity, it causes the rear end to lift, planting the rear axle. So basically though, I just made a truss. It's a little bit overkill. It's made out of 3/8 steel, but since you can't weld to the cast iron center section, I welded it to the axle tubes. I also fully welded the axle tubes because I was afraid of twisting the center section in there. So we fully welded the axle tubes around. I reused the stock G-Body brackets and spring cups off of the factory. There's a look of the 8/8 brakes that I tied in. I'm running airbags on it now, and they're valves separate so I can tune the suspension. Let's come up on the front side and I'll show you guys what we did there. Alright, so my biggest concern was twisting the center section, so on the front I'll have to come to the other side probably to make it look a little bit better. But there's a view of the drive shaft set up. That's the GM factory drive shaft for this car, and that's an adapter U-joint. It was DL355 was the part number from AutoZone. It basically let me put that Ford Explorer yoke right on my factory GM drive shaft, and the length even worked out. Imagine that. Here's a look at how we basically just welded the lowers on. Let me come around to the other side and I'll show you how I tied my truss. Also, I bolted my truss to the third member because the third member being cast, I didn't want to weld to it. So basically on my upper truss, if you can see it, I brought a piece of 1/4 inch plate off the top of the truss down here and I bolted it right here to the axle. And that just provides some strength from trying to twist. Alright guys, I hope that clears up a little bit for you. Any more questions about it, ask. He said the nice thing about it was I was able to score 373 gears in a factory track lock and have about $150 in the whole setup. And now I have 31 spline axles and even rear disc brakes if that's your thing. Although my drums did hold better on the launch. I could get a higher RPM out of my converter with the drum brake rear than I could the disc. That's the only downfall. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Catch you later.